Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Mark Morse. Today I'm entering a contest, and it's a very interesting contest because I get to build my own fantasy music fest, and I think it's a doozy. I think you're gonna like it. This is for my friend Gordan at I Dig Vinyl. He's on a push to get to 500 subscribers, so I'll link to him below. Please go over and check out his channel. He's a funny guy, much funnier than me, and has a great collection of vinyl. Love to listen to him. And what his concept is he wants us to put together a fantasy music festival, and it can include people who aren't alive anymore. It can reassemble bands that have broken up for years. It is truly a fantasy. We're going to give it a name. We're going to give it a place. We're going to bring people along. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let me get started. So his first prompt is, if you could create a fantasy music festival, who would be on the list? The concept for my concert is it's going to be bands that I enjoyed in the 70s. And not only are they bands that I enjoyed in the 70s, but they will be limited to playing songs from albums produced in the 70s. So I picked 7 bands. And what I tried to do is, these are bands I wish I would have been able to see in the 70s. There are so many great bands that I could have included. What I tried to do is find bands that I kind of found organically. A lot of my taste came from, I'm from a big family, 9 kids, and I was towards the end. I had a lot of big brothers and sisters that I kind of picked up their musical taste. But some of these bands are bands I feel like I found organically out in the world, and that's why they're included, and that's why some bigger names aren't in here. But let me start off with the Boomtown Rats. So the Boomtown Rats, you probably remember their song, I Don't Like Mondays, but I loved the Boomtown Rats in the 70s. Now, I was 8 years old when the 1970 came around, but I was 18 by the time 1980 came around. And this band fascinated me. So they might do songs from The Fine Art of Surfacing or A Tonic for the Troops. I played these albums ad nauseum, so my family completely hated me. So that would be like an opening act. Another one that I went for, that I thought I would love to see, late in my high school years, I really got into Gary Newman. And I would love to see Gary Newman. He might play songs from Replicas. This was out in 1979. I think this is the one with Cars on it. Is this the one with Cars? Maybe this isn't the one with Cars. Speaking of Cars, I love the band The Cars in the 70s. In high school, these are like albums I just loved in high school, and I had a handful of friends that we'd hang out, and we enjoyed the same records. This is their debut album. I really, really love this album. I think I love it even more than Candy-O, though I love both albums. Played them a lot. They were 1978 and 1979, respectively. I realized while I was putting this together, I kind of, my tastes were kind of towards the latter 70s. So another band, and really was my favorite band for a long time, right up there with the Beatles, believe it or not, Talking Heads. Love Talking Heads. I love the quirkiness. I remember seeing them on, I think it was Saturday Night Live, and going out a few days later and buying every record I could find by them. This is more songs about buildings and food, and I think that was 1978. Another favorite is Fear Music, 1979. One thing about my concert, It's going to be in the fall. It's going to be in the fall. I know Gordan says, you know, summer is the time for music fests, but my concert is going to be in the fall when it's a little cooler, maybe in September or early October. But The Clash. I love The Clash, particularly this album in the 1970s. I don't think this is my original, might be. Just loved it. This came out in 1979. If they just wanted to play this album as their set list, I'd be totally happy with it. So The Clash would be at my Fall Fest. In the 70s, I loved Alice Cooper. So Alice Cooper in the 70s, just can't beat Alice Cooper in the 70s. Just the greatest decade for him. He could play songs from Billion Dollar Babies, and this would be with the original band too. So I would bring all the band members back for this so he could do this. Of course, there's a lot of 70s. Alice Cooper, Love It to Death, etc. And he could also do music from this. And then, this would be my headliner. The headliner would be the spectacular, the no equal David Bowie. David Bowie in the 70s, also a favorite era for David Bowie for me. Hunky Dory was a favorite album for a long time. He could do songs from this. He could do songs from Ziggy Stardust. And he could do songs from Heroes. He could do all those songs because all those albums were put out in the 70s, along with Aladdin Sane, Low, lots of great stuff that David Bowie could do. So, where would this fest take place? I'm not a big traveler. I don't want to travel to some place thousands of miles from where I live. I want to be able to go to the fest, come home the same day. So I live in Iowa, and I thought the Iowa State Fairgrounds, that's where I decided to go. The Iowa State Fairgrounds, it's a sprawling landscape. Lots of stuff, people can mingle and roam around, and then they have what they call the grandstand, where the acts could perform. If you hear a crunching, a gnawing in the background, I always give my dog a bone before I start these videos to keep her occupied so she doesn't go barking or something. But anyway, I love that dog a lot. And then, what would the name of the festival be? And I'm calling it the Fall Festival in the Sticks, the 1970s. So it's going to have that 1970s theme. It could be an annual thing. So one year it might be the 1960s or the 1980s. We'd probably skip the 1990s, but that would be my name for the festival. Then the final question is, who would you bring along from the vinyl community? He said just name a couple of people. I've narrowed it down to 4, but of course anybody would be welcome to my festival. There's so many of you I'd like to meet and hang out with at a festival. But my first choice is Jen from Jen's Addiction. She's one of my newer vinyl community friends, and she has a passion for classic horror. So between shows and setups and stuff, we can be talking classic horror. The second one would be Doug from the Auditory Vinyl. He lives in Iowa. He'd probably be there anyway, and we'd probably just run into each other anyway. Shawn from Vinyl Shawn. I think Shawn would appreciate these shows, and I've always wanted to meet Shawn from Florida. And then finally, David from Garage Geek. Just been a really supportive vinyl friend. Always willing to give me advice and critique on my ideas and videos. So I would love to spend some time with David at the Fall Fest in the Sticks, the 1970s Iowa. That is it for this video. This is my contest entry. I hope you enjoyed it. And please check out Gordan's I Dig Vinyl channel. I think you're going to like it. A funny guy. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.